Hi Scorpio, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we're actually doing the monthly readings. So looking through September, what's going on for you. We are just looking at the general overview for September with this reading. If you're looking for money, go back to the most recent all signs and you'll see that's all about money. And then at the end of the week, we will be sort of looking at September overview for love as well. So make sure you subscribe so you can keep updated about all those videos, of course. Make sure that you like, comment, share or friend, whatever. I really appreciate all of that. Today I am doing things a little bit differently. I've actually got two decks that I'm using as one deck today. Okay, so we do have the Seeker's Lenormand, and I have mixed that with the Earthbound Oracle. So they are a paired deck. There is actually a tarot deck that goes along with that set as well, but I am just using the Lenormand and Oracle today. But I'll get into it for you, Scorpio. I'm going to get all your cards out first, and then we'll sort of go through everything. Starting off with the kind of theme of the month for you. Okay, Scorpio. What's going on for Scorpio in September? The overview, the theme of the month for Scorpio in September. Okay, and your energy, Scorpio. Past, present, future. Scorpio's energy in September, please. I just want to clarify that future energy for Scorpio, please. Okay, awesome. The challenge, the biggest challenge for Scorpio throughout September. The advice for Scorpio in September. Hidden energy. I'm going to take 4 for that, interestingly enough. And I'm just wanting just another clarity energy there for the theme of the month, the overview energy. Just one more for Scorpio in regard to the overview energy, please. Okay, so, all right. So the theme of the month, the overview energy here, we're starting off with the anchor. Okay, so this is actually strongly telling me that the clarity card I did get was the Terror card, the Earth energy card here. Okay, so, we do have a strong message for you this month about staying grounded and sort of staying put whereabouts you are in the cycle. We have the cycle card there as well. So it's kind of like needing to sort of let things play out how they will, Scorpio, and needing to stay very grounded this month, very stay put, that you can you may be, it doesn't matter whereabouts within this cycle you are, you know that you're going to come back around to other parts of that cycle as well. That sort of staying very, it's a reliable pattern, a reliable cycle for you here. And it's kind of, all part and parcel of the natural ebb and flow of life. It's kind of, just changing with the seasons kind of thing, that we all know that there's 4 seasons, and we all know that, spring will come again, summer will come again, winter will come again. So regardless of where you are in that pattern, you know that the next season will eventually come, that you're not sort of stuck here where you are forever, that this will evolve, it will develop, it will continue on after this little patch. All right, so it's kind of standing your ground and staying put where you are, and knowing that the cycle will continue, that the pattern will go on, that that things will get better if that's what's going on for you here, Scorpio. If you're feeling a little bit sort of stuck or held back, that you're not actually being held back. You're not being stuck here in winter. It hasn't frozen over and you're not stuck in winter. Spring will eventually come. That kind of thing. Um, so what we're seeing as your past energy here, we have the fish coming through. So you're coming from somewhere where you have been very, very focused on, your financials, your material day-to-day kind of stuff, where you've had a lot, of focus on money and on creating wealth within your own life, and really focusing on the day-to-day, the boring work career stuff. You've been very focused on that sort of stuff, on the material of life, rather than any of the energy going on around you, that you've been just focused on getting it done and getting through the day and getting through to the next day, and that kind of cycle. But things are sort of changing a little bit for you this month, because you're kind of realizing that you're not actually focused so much on that anymore. You're moving into, we have the intuition card coming through next for your present energy. So that you're knowing that there's something coming. It's this feeling that you're having at the moment that, hang on, there's more to life than just working, than just, getting my money, getting that car, getting the house. There's a lot more to just the material world. And I can feel something building within me. So a lot of you are kind of moving and shifting into much more of a energy zone within yourself, and your focus, that you're sort of feeling something is building, something is coming, and that's why you're kind of like, what do I do? You've been so used to just get, the day-to-day mundane life, that this feels like uneasy to you. I feel a lot of you are feeling a little bit uneasy about what is going on. And not going to lie, I've actually had a very similar conversation with my one of my Scorpio besties lately, and she's had a few really weird things going on around her, and this is kind of what I'm feeling for this present energy for you throughout September. It's like it's this momentum that's sort of building in the energy of your life, not so much in the reality. There may not be anything going on in the reality of your life, but there's this momentum building within you, and you're kind of like, what is going on? Something is happening. Something is coming. What, I don't know what it is, but there's just something building up here, and it's shifting you in a really positive way. I feel that it's a really good thing. But this is, remembering to stay very grounded, and know that this is just part of the natural cycle for you. That yes, sometimes you are very focused on the reality of things, but you know what? Sometimes we're so focused on the reality of things that we forget to pay attention to the energy side of life, and the spiritual side of life. And, now it's kind of creeping back up on you, and you're realizing, oh, okay, there is more to life than just money and just getting things done. That, hang on, there's this reminder within me that something is building, something is coming, and we're building up to something, that this cycle is, it's about to go back around this loop, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, hang on, what's going on here? We're just shifting slightly, I feel. The future energy, we do have the feminine energy coming through for you there. So once again, moving into a much more spiritual, a much more feminine energy here, where we're, much more in touch with the emotional component of life, not just the reality and the, got to get things done and put those emotions aside. No, we're moving into a phase where we're actually, embracing the feminine side of ourselves. Everyone, regardless of your gender, we all have feminine and masculine within, and you're starting to embrace a much more feminine energy within yourself, which embraces things like intuition and taking your emotions into account, and being sensitive, and being nurturing the positive things around you, and being nurturing to people and things in your life, nurturing yourself and your emotions a little bit more. A lot of you maybe have been avoiding your emotions quite heavily, in the past, being such, fish energy in the past there, you've been very muchly kind of avoiding the emotional component, whereas now you are definitely shifting into an emotional component, which it does make you feel a little bit vulnerable. We have the lily coming through to clarify that feminine energy, which is a very feminine energy as well. So I'm seeing you moving into, so much feminine energy coming from this masculine energy. So, you've been the boss of your life, and you've tried to, take control of things on a very material level, but now is the time to move into this feminine energy for yourself, Scorpio. And it does feel vulnerable. It does feel like you're leaving yourself very vulnerable and open to, emotion, and having to deal with that side of things. But that's part of the faith, part of the cycle here. Stay grounded within who you are, and where you're going here, and understand that this is just part of the cycle, that sometimes we do need to, get back in touch with the feminine. Uh, Sometimes we need to be more in touch with our masculine. It's just part of the cycle, part of, learning how to balance those both out within yourself. So stay steady through this, even though it may feel a bit like you're opening yourself up to be quite vulnerable here. Stay very steady through this process, and allow that vulnerability to shine, and become intimate with that side of yourself, with the emotions that you are having, and things like that. Be kinder to yourself, in the process. Having a strength of morals coming through this process as well here. But this is it's telling me that this is like a longer term energy, because you are sort of embracing this feminine energy, and learning once again to balance both. You have a very strong masculine already, but it's time to strengthen that feminine energy within yourself, and so that you can balance the two, and come from a very balanced position where we're not all masculine, we're not all feminine, we're coming from the perfect balance of both of those, and enabling ourselves to be whole. Okay, Scorpio. But it is a bit of a challenge for you just in that itself, because the challenge I'm seeing for you here, we have the stars, as well as the flowers. Okay, so the challenge for you this month is to actually give your all to the things that you wish for. Okay, to give your all to hope. It's a hard ask sometimes, and that's what we're seeing for you this month. That it is kind of a hard ask for you this month, a challenge for you to give yourself to hope and to optimism that everything is going to work out the way you need it to. It's a bit of a challenge for you this month. That the pessimism is calling. I'm kind of getting for you here that that there's this part of your nature, because you've been so much in this masculine energy. The masculine craves chaos, it craves pessimism, it craves everything's going to go wrong, everything is a war, everything is a fight. So of course it's going to be a challenge to be softer, and allow yourself to give yourself into hope and optimism, and potential, all my dreams coming true. That's uncomfortable, because you've been so used to everything being war and chaos. That's what you've been living in. Everything is a fight. The masculine energy, everything is a fight, everything is chaos, everything is, this means war. Whereas it's no longer the case. You're moving into a feminine energy where everything needs to be nurtured and cared for, and softly spoken to, and dreamed of and wished for, and we actually have hopes that those wishes can come true. We remain optimistic that everything is going to be happy sunshine. It's a fight for you to do so, because you have been such a strong masculine energy, Scorpio. So it is a bit of a challenge for you to move into this softer energy, and to allow hope in, which sounds easier than it actually is in reality, to allow the optimism in, and to allow the softness in, to allow hope, and all your wishes coming true, be something that could be for you. It is a bit of a challenge. And it is coming through strongly for you this month as a challenge. So just be aware of that it may be very hard for you to find the softer, positive sides of things this month. But there's, if we're coming from war and we're coming from chaos, of course it's going to be hard to, find that resolve to hope. So if it makes it easier for you, Scorpio, you can actually use the masculine energy to empower this and take on this challenge. That it's a fight to be happy. It's a fight to have hope. It's a fight to have optimism. If you need it to be that way, and you need to, fight yourself a little bit, and fight the need to control everything, with allowing the flow of the feminine to come through, you can actually use that masculine energy to really encapsulate the feminine, and keep because divine masculine actually protects and keeps the feminine safe. All right. So you've been protecting your feminine. So it's now time to tell your feminine side that it is now safe for you to be. It is now safe for you to come out. And I'm going to be here on guard. The masculine side is going to be here on guard, that if you need me, I'm here. But I'm now going to fight myself, and find that war within myself, to allow myself to be in this feminine energy, to take on this challenge of allowing the feminine to give my all, to accessing the hope and the positive energy within myself. Okay. Your advice this month, we do have reflect. Okay, reflect upon the way that you have been in this masculine energy. Reflect upon what helps you stay grounded within your own energy, helps you sort of, once again, like I said, that if you need to reflect upon the way that you fight for everything, and use that to, propel this feminine energy to being, do that. Reflect upon how that works for you, and how to do that moving forward. We also see sleep. Okay, you definitely need some rest this month as well, and that's why, because on a subconscious level, you're going through this process, Scorpio, and so you do need to allow yourself some rest this month, to allow, not everything to be a fight this month, to allow yourself to just be, and just accept that, I can sleep. I don't have to, be constantly go, 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 do everything all at once. I can just stop and rest and recharge myself, and allow that subconscious stuff to catch up to me a little bit more in the reality. All right, so it's just part of the cycle at the moment. You're needing to just sort of stay put, stay very grounded where you are, and knowing who you are, and knowing where you're going. That it's okay to feel hope in things at the moment, but it's okay to also just do nothing about it, and just rest, and allow your subconscious to catch up to your conscious as well. It's a rest month for you. Now, in the subconscious energy, we have the arcana. So it does show us that this is a lot of stuff going on in the subconscious, a lot of stuff going on, healing going on within you. Okay, we have healing there as well, and it's all sort of going on deep within you. It's not necessarily visible this month. It's stuff going on in your subconscious, and your conscious is just sort of, needing to rest and recuperate, and allow that to happen. We do have the mountain and the bear coming through there as well in the subconscious. So, you are sort of, it is a bit of a challenge for you to not be so defensive against the positive stuff, and instead to nurture. The bear can go both ways, and that's what it's sort of telling us here, is that there is a bit of hard work for you involved this month in allowing that bear to be a soft teddy bear that is nurturing and protective of the more feminine sides of yourself. Here, Scorpio, it is a bit of a challenge, and you're needing to put in a bit of extra work with that. Persevere with that. Okay, that to let down the walls a little bit, to let down the defenses a little bit. Okay, still have your boundaries, yes, but let those defenses down a little bit. You don't need to, roar and rip everyone's face off every single thing. It's okay to be that nurturing little teddy bear sometimes that just needs a little rest. And you can even see that's a bear sleeping here. So, allow that little bear that's all defensive to go to sleep, and just be nurtured and safe within you for a little while. That it's okay to let your walls down a little bit, and just focus on the feminine sides of yourself, the emotional sides of yourself, and allow that through just a little bit more this month. You're moving forward into a much more feminine, balanced kind of area. It is going to be a challenge though, but you do need to sort of just stay grounded in yourself, and knowing that it's all part of the process. There's a lot going on for you subconsciously at the moment, rather than actual going ons for you. It's all sort of going on behind the scenes, and you may not even be aware of it. Okay, Scorpio, but definitely keep your eye out, for any other important placements you want to check, as well as, like I said, we will have the love September reading coming up in the next few days as well. So definitely keep an eye out for those. But I'll see you all again soon.